let's see if this actually works. I'm kind of excited to see if it does. Hello everybody, we're trying a new stream setup, which goes from the wireless access point that's on the edge of the chicken coop to the this is going to work on. It is telling me at the moment that it is live, but then I cannot see that it is live. So, oh no, it is live now. Hello everybody, good to see you all. It is a bit delayed. I'm going to have my phone here because it's got the stream in the stream on the phone, and hopefully this is all connecting. If and when we ever get Starlink, this will make things a whole lot easier for us to do. Thanks to everybody who joined us earlier on today with the little live premiere, or the premiere of the first in the series of Rebooting Rebecca, which I think is a great title. Rebooting Rebecca is the series that Kate Walton Elliott is doing, talking about converting her 1969 Morris Minor, who was called Rebecca, to electric. And it kind of got me out of the house because I figured that I haven't given you guys a bit of an update on the Honda, which is the camera's on the Honda right now. But before we start talking about the Honda, we do actually have to put the chickens to bed. And I realized that the last time I tried to stream outside to do a live stream, we hadn't installed the new camera, the new Wi-Fi access point on the chicken coop. Now we have a wireless access point on the chicken coop, which is a bit crazy. Let me just do that so you can see it. It is right up here in the corner, and it means that we have a good internet connectivity between the wired connection that runs from the chicken coop all the way up the side of the house into the attic and into the server room. But that also means that we can do live streams out here on the driveway. And as long as our internet connection down the valley is good, remember we have a wireless signal at the moment, 802.11, I think it's 802.11a down the valley, we can, fingers crossed, do live streams from here while we are working on cars on the driveway. I'd love to say that I could work in the garage, but my wife does woodworking, and that is the state of our garage right now. So she is building things in the garage. She makes wonderful things. I would never dream of taking her garage away from her woodworking shop. Eventually we're going to build a woodworking shop in the garden. But for now, having the stream, having the connection here to the internet, which is crazy, with a chicken coop Wi-Fi access point. How many people in the world do you know who have a chicken coop wireless access point? It is kind of crazy, to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to walk around and put the chickens to bed, and you guys get to hopefully come with, because the internet connection here is now really nice because we put this fancy internet connection in. We're going to put some security cameras up. I'm not going to tell you where, but we're going to use the access from here obviously for that as well. We have some internal cameras that are not accessible from outside of the house for the chicken coop, for predators and things like that. But the chickens have gone to bed for the night. That's what they were doing a minute ago. Let's check and make sure that they are in fact all asleep. Ashley, it's time for you to go to sleep, sweetheart. Yeah, it is. So let's see, who do we have up here? I think you're all up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might be missing a chicken. I'm going to have to open the door and count them the old-fashioned way. And then I'll tell you the good news that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 chickens and no eggs, unfortunately. For those who are curious, my wife, Kate, not that Kate, a different Kate, made this chicken coop. She made it using a Japanese wood burning technique, which burns the wood purposely to help reduce the effects of rain and things. Obviously we live in the Pacific Northwest, so ow, I shouldn't have done that. That was a stupid thing to do. And we do in fact have one egg. I went and picked up some eggs earlier on today, so I'll put the egg in the other pocket to the one that's got my keys in it. Ow, 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 ow. And then I will tell you a little bit more about the Honda project. But first, if you're making funny noises, it's because I had a biopsy yesterday. They have to go in from the side, kind of drill a hole in you and take a biopsy. I'm all bandaged up still. I'm still on some pretty good pain meds. Yesterday, that's why we didn't get a video yesterday, because I was told to take the afternoon off, kind of ordered by my doctor and my partner to take the afternoon off. But I've literally just got off the phone, and good news is it is benign. It's just a bit of kind of fatty tissue. They want to keep an eye on it in case it does become cancerous, but so far, ow, so good. It is benign, so I can't move this side because I'm still bandaged up. But anyway, let's talk about the Honda. That's really the more important thing right now. And in terms of the project, in case you haven't seen it, I know not everybody who watches this channel watches every video. This is an EV1 motor inside here. And unlike Pure Kate with her Morris Minor and a slightly dodgy battery, I actually have a good quality battery in my Honda, and I need to check the voltage on this and probably put it on charge tonight because we've not been able to do anything with it. But Damien Maguire pinged me the other day and he said that he's sent me a control board for a Chevrolet Volt, not a Bolt, a Chevrolet Volt controller board, which means we'll be able to take out this prototype board, and then this board will come out complete with all of the evidence of the mice. We live up in the hills, so mice kind of get in everywhere. We need a cat. Unfortunately, my partner is allergic, otherwise we'd have one. But we're going to take this prototype controller board out and replace it with the inverter board from a Chevrolet Volt. That inverter board will then drive the EV1 motor, and the control board that Damien is sending me is one that Damien has designed and other people have designed, and it means that we'll be able, I think my car just locked itself back up again. It means that we will be able to drive this car using a General Motor EV1 motor powered by a Chevrolet Volt inverter, which is in turn controlled by an open source controller board. And you'll see I've taken out the seats. Now the seats are inside. They've been dried out because the inside is a little bit damp at the moment. But I'm also going to start looking, now I know I don't have cancer. Whew, what a relief. I feel about 10 years younger, by the way. Now we are going to, I'm going to try and print, I think, a cover for this to get rid of this gear lever. Put a digital control on here. And then in the back, I'm thinking we're probably going to go with a Chevrolet Volt battery pack. Now, the Chevrolet Volts obviously was a lot heavier as a car, but I could put a couple of those battery packs in the back of the car and not have too many problems with it. I need to measure it up. But the other thing I need to do, and I've just got a wet bum, which tells me there's obviously still some water seeping in here. I've got to fix that in the summer. No point fixing it right now because the weather is too bad. But tonight I'll put the car on charge so that the 12-volt battery is in good condition. I still haven't had a chance to fix this. Ow! I really need to stop using my left arm because it hurts. I'm gonna have to put my phone down a second. Here we go. Okay, did you manage to lock it, Nikki? There we go. Ow. So in the back of here, I'm thinking we can probably put a Chevrolet Volt battery pack. And that Chevrolet Volt battery pack should give us a reasonably decent performance. Now I'm hoping that we'll be able to get maybe 1 or 2 Chevrolet Volt battery packs in here. It may require some modifications. But the reason I want to use a Chevrolet Volt battery pack is because you can make them liquid cooled. We can put some of the batteries up front, which means it's very easy to, you know, design some coolant pipe between them. And that is, I think, what we're going to do. Unless, you know, something happens and we change our mind. We cannot put a Chevrolet Bolt battery pack in because you see Bolt and the Honda are not that much difference in terms of length. If you look at it, they're almost identical. So that's my wife's Bolt, and the Honda, you'll see that the Honda is just a little bit behind the Bolt. And then if we go to the front here, you'll see that the Bolt just juts out a little bit. If I go to here, you'll be able to see it a little bit clearer. So I think footprint wise, the wheelbase is certainly narrower on the shorter on the Honda, so we don't really have space to put a massive battery pack underneath, and that would of course affect the ground clearance. So I think we are going to put it in the back of the car. That is our ultimate goal. So anyway, that is where we're at right now. I will shut this car up for the evening. I'm going to connect the battery tender, or the 12 volt battery charger, just to make sure that the car has a proper charge, because there's nothing worse than having the charge not work as it should. I'm just going to go over here and we'll grab the 12 volt charger. I can't do anything with my left arm, can't lift anything really at the moment, so I'm doing everything one-handed, unfortunately. There we go. Oh no, we won't. So a couple of other things so that you might want to know here. We've got a few other bits and bobs that we were given with that project car. This is a DC to DC converter. Somewhere in there we've got an AC compressor as well, like an electric heat pump, I believe. So we might use that, or we might use the Chevrolet Volt second inverter, because the original Chevrolet Volt had 2 inverters. It had one because it had 2 motors, and of course we're only going to have 1 motor in this car, certainly for now. And so what I thought might be kind of fun would be for us to take the second inverter and see if we could run it to produce 240 volts AC, split phase, to power some kind of vehicle to grid component. Now I don't know if that's possible. I don't think I have the technical wherewithal to make that happen, but I would really like to make that happen. So I'm going to just very quickly plug this in and not drop it. It's hard to do things and you only got one hand that wants to work, one arm that you're only supposed to be using, because the other one has been glued. The hole has been glued shut, as it were. I just have to make sure that everything stays that way and heals properly, because the last thing you want is to open up a wound. I've had that happen before and it's not pleasant. So let's plug this in. I'm going to hide this in the wheel well, like so. That way, all of this torrential rain we've been having is not going to cause a problem. And we can turn it on. And hopefully, it will start charging. At least I think that is what it's doing. I do this to make sure that the 12-volt battery, which is a fairly decent one, doesn't obviously go south, and to make sure that the 12-volt battery stays charged up, because it's useful for things like the central locking. I know it's a bit lazy, but there we go. While we are here, let's talk about what's going on with this. This is some glass fibre batting that we're going to put here, because a project that we've had on hold for almost a year now is the 2 charging stations from 1 outlet project. And right now you'll see we've got the juice box, the one we've got on review from NLX. It's still working perfectly. It's been charging up my car. But one of the challenges is that because my wife has a woodworking shop, the other charging station, which lives right at the back here, we can't access that very easily. We could get a car in here just about, but it would require some reshuffling. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this on the wall with some grommets. We're going to split this cabling up. We've already got the permits, and we're going to put some finish off the walls. So we'll actually put batting in, then we'll put some sheets on. I think we've just lost the connection, which is strange. That's interesting. So me going around in the back of the garage obviously meant that we lost the connection there. That could have been an internet problem, because we've had a few issues today with the internet. So we'll take that off the wall. We'll replace it with a double wired charging point. So it'll be 2 of the Juicebox 40s, the old style Juicebox 40s, physically wired in. And with that, we'll then use the load sharing capability of the JuiceNet software, so that when we plug both cards in, we don't overload the socket. It will intelligently ramp back to make sure that both charging stations share the single connection. It's hardwired for that reason. And then we'll do some videos on that. And it's our hope that our solar panel installation will also be able to do some hacking there to make sure that we can charge the cars when our solar panels are producing electricity. Yes, Sally is making all kinds of noises. He's very upset because he can hear me talking. It's late in the evening, the light is failing, and he doesn't want to go to bed, but it is bedtime for Sally. For those who didn't see it properly last time, this is our actual access point. It is a Unify access point. We turn the light off, but the actual cable for that goes inside the coop. You can see the cable coming down here, disappears underground. It runs, you really poor light, I do apologise for that, runs all the way through around the back of the house here. You can see it picking up the cable there. It goes all the way up the roof, in at the top, and that is our attic, and it goes through our attic and then drops down into the server room, which is really great. And eventually my wife plans on putting a wood shop down here on that slope at the back, but as you can see, it's quite a steep slope, so we've got to make sure that that one is done properly. Even the chicken coop here is on a slope. Our internet has been a bit dodgy, and unfortunately we do not have Starlink yet. Elon, if you're watching, hook us up. You know we'll help. We'll test it for you. We'll be good with that. So there you have it. There is everything that's going on right now with the project. Great news for me on the health front. Thank you to all of you amazing people who sent me positive vibes. I was pretty scared. I don't mind admitting that. I didn't want to have the biopsy yesterday, and it was the worst, one of the worst medical procedures I think I've had, because it was just uncomfortable the entire time. And with the recent diagnosis for my heart condition, which is a thing that I still have to deal with, I now only have one thing to deal with instead of two. So that's good. Just in case you're curious, this is the charging station. These are the two charging stations we're going to be installing here. They're both Juicebox 40s. And that is really everything there is to say. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks to the amazing people who make this possible, because without you guys, we wouldn't do any of this content. And we're trying to do more DIY content this year because it's something we all feel really passionate about. Until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us. Keep